Hi guys. Okay, so today I want to talk about the different ways in which we can bring calories in and out of our bodies. So in our other video, I kind of covered a few of the essentials you want to learn about this before watching this video. So we're going to go ahead into the actual different forms. So as we mentioned in the other video, energy can come in via two different ways: solid food or drinks, or liquid food as well, such as smoothies and so forth. When it comes to calorie expenditure or using calories, there are 5 basic ways in which we can do that. So one of them is through just normal daily activity, right? Walking, running, me sitting right here recording the video. I'm using energy, I'm using calories because your body needs calories in order to produce the basic unit of energy, ATP, which we talked about, to move your muscles, blink your eyes, and do all sorts of body movements. So daily activity burns calories. The other way in which we can burn calories is through deliberate exercise. So when you schedule a time to actually work out, you also spend and use calories that way. Another way in which we can do that is through something called NEAT activities, the acronym N.E.A.T, which stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And this is what it sounds like: an activity that we do that we don't schedule as exercise, but is extra movement. For example, let's say you're taking the stairs instead of taking the elevator. Okay, the fact that you're taking the stairs burns more calories than taking the elevator. And this is something that often people don't look into enough, because NEAT activities, the research on this is phenomenal. Research has coded that a person can lose anywhere between 200 to up to 2,000 calories per day. And obviously, yes, the size, weight of the person will influence the amount of calories, but still, that's a lot of calories. There is no way we can use 2,000 calories in a workout unless you're like an Olympic athlete, right? So this is oftentimes in ways in which our bodies can use this. Below in the channel, I'm going to attach some examples, and that way so you guys can get your NEAT activities up, and if your goal is to lose body fat, to go ahead and start doing more of those. Okay, so a third way in which our bodies can use calories is something called the TEF, or thermic effect of food. So yes, some foods burn more calories when you eat them, okay? And when I mean when you eat them, it's the process of chewing, swallowing, digesting it, absorbing it, and pooping it out, okay? So I'm talking about the whole digestive process, okay? Proteins burn more calories than carbohydrates, and carbohydrates burn more calories than fat, okay? Research has coded that about 30% of the calories in protein are used to process the protein in and of itself, okay? Another example of that would be, for example, think of a piece of steak and an apple and some peanut butter, right? My proteins, my carbs, and my fat. So which one takes more effort to chew? The steak, right? So you gotta like chomp on that thing, right? And then you gotta swallow, and then your body does this whole thing, right? Then what burns more calories? What do you think takes more effort, right? The apple or the peanut butter? Well, the apple, you got to actually chew it. Peanut butter, you can just swallow it whole. You don't even have to chew anything, right? So that's an example of how proteins burn more calories and carbohydrates than fat, right? So oftentimes people that do know what they're doing, okay, often, and this is why you see bodybuilders and people in physique shows and so forth eating so much protein, right? Because one of the reasons is that protein keeps you fuller for a longer period of time due to the hormonal response that goes inside of our stomachs when we eat protein. I'll make a whole video on protein, carbs, and fats, so don't worry, I won't leave you high and dry with that information, okay? But moving on, so TEF is another one. Another one which we can do is something called just our metabolism, our resting metabolism, right? So for example, and this is one of the hardest ones to tinker with, because our resting metabolism has to do with every biological process that goes inside of us, such as our heart beating. So for example, in your sleep, you can't tell your heart to beat faster, right? You're asleep. However, and this is oftentimes where fat burners come into place. I'm going to make a whole video just on fat burners, because I have had a lot of people ask me questions about them, and I want to give you the science on how they actually work, so that way you're not trying to take an advantage of by anybody trying to deceive you on how fat burners work, okay? So remember, it's daily activity, the thermic effect of food, deliberate exercise, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis or NEAT activities and your resting metabolism, right? If you can make your body move more or use more calories in those, technically those 4 different ways, right? You can increase the amount of calories that your body is using and therefore increase your ability to lose body fat, right? So remember, we talked about like that scale example. If you're outputting more calories than what you're intaking, you are going to be losing body fat because you are in that calorie deficit. Your body has to tap in somewhere to get the energy it needs, and it will tap into our fat fridge, aka our adipose cells or fat cells, to get that energy out. Thank you guys for joining me one more time. Please comment below on what you liked, on what you wish you could see more of. This channel is for you. I'm just here to give you the science and the truth behind how the human body works. Also, feel free to email me with any questions. My website is down below as well. So yeah, have a wonderful day and get moving.